Man, thanks for having me on. Look, the funny thing is, like, I think he's low key known about it for a while now, but Tyreek is a performer at the end of the day, so he's going to be excited. But hey, it's hard to argue, man. He has an argument at least. I think we're getting Mahomes fatigue just a little bit, but he does have an argument as far as skilled players go. Yeah, number one, without a doubt.
Yeah, I think he's one of one in the NFL, just a history of how dynamic he is. But I agree with the Mahomes fatigue because Mahomes at 4 nonetheless is ridiculous. But hey, bro, we're bringing you in to talk Dolphins. Of course, you're the ESPN Dolphins beat reporter. Let's first start with the guy that's throwing him the football. Tua Tagovailoa with the 4-year, $212 million contract, $167 million guaranteed. Is there all-around buy-in on this guy, obviously from the ownership, but around the team that he is the quarterback that can lead them to a playoff win and more? Because we know that's the expectations down in Miami.
George, you got it. $212.1 million.
Woo, don't forget that point one.
That point one was important because it put him .1 over Jared Goff's exact contract. So we can't forget that .1. But no, they do believe in him. They absolutely believe that he is their guy. Obviously they dragged their feet a little bit there, and you would have liked, if you're a Dolphins fan and if you're Tua's people, you would have liked this deal to have gotten done, months ago. It's something that both sides have been interested in for 2 years now. They essentially tabled talks last offseason after his 2022 injury-riddled year. Then they told him, look, we need to see you last an entire season. We need to see you healthy. You have not been able to stay an entire season, stay healthy for a full 17-game stretch yet. So he did that. He led the NFL in passing. He led them to the playoffs. From his perspective, it's like, well, what more do I have to do? You could see the kind of frustration in his face as well during minicamp where there wasn't a deal done. And he's like, this is not progressing as fast as obviously I would like it to progress. But, the Dolphins did get it done. And kudos to them. They've had a lot of mouths to feed this offseason. They obviously let Robert Hunt and Christian Wilkins go, but it wasn't just Tua that needed to be signed. Jalen Waddle got a new deal. Raheem Mostert got a new deal. And then, of course, Tyreek Hill got additional money added onto his deal, no extra years. But there's a lot of people to take care of. There's a lot of stars in this locker room that need checks to be cut. But I think they believe Tua is the guy to lead them there. And obviously the biggest argument against Tua, one of them, is, he's a system quarterback. It's the McDaniel offense, the Shanahan offense, the playmakers, da-da-da-da-da. All of that is so irrelevant because he is in this system. Who cares if you're a system quarterback if you're playing in the system? Like that, we're overthinking it here. For this system, there is no better quarterback to run it. They believe in Tua, and they are ready to go forward in the 2024 season.
Marcel, he's 1,000% a system quarterback. There's no doubt in my mind. Here's my question to you, because you and I have known each other a long time, and it's not my style to pocket watch anybody. However, I was shocked to see that the Dolphins paid him, and here's why. With that system, with all those stars you mentioned in that locker room, I thought for sure they could hit the free agent market when the time was necessary and overpay for someone who they thought maybe could get them over the hump. Maybe. Brother, I had Shadur Sanders in Miami. I thought maybe they could draft a kid, reset, the in terms of contract, paying the quarterback and get someone in there for that system that could get it done. Let me ask you personally, as someone who covered Josh Allen for as long as you did, that guy, any system, any field, anytime, any place is a stud. When you watch Tua, were you shocked? Were you personally shocked that he got the bag, Marcel?
Oh, absolutely not. And I'm not just saying this because I don't want Dolphins fans at my doorstep. When you think of the question I keep hearing phrased, right? Like, will the Dolphins regret this? What's the alternative? The alternative is going quarterback hunting again. It's the least admirable, or like the least desirable position in sports is quarterback hunting. You hate doing that. Teams wallow in misery for decades looking for the guy. Look at the Cleveland Browns. Look at where they had to stoop in order to find a guy they think is a franchise quarterback. Like, that's what QB hunting will do to you. So absolutely not. I'm not surprised he got the bag. This was the right move. How bad is Tua going to have to be for them to regret doing this over hitting the reset button? They have spent too much money. They have allocated too many assets, traded too many first-round picks for this team that is built to win right now to start over at the most important position. They know that they've got a guy who is at worst serviceable. He's a starting quarterback, and we could go back and forth all day about that. But at worst, Tua Tagovailoa is a starting quarterback in the NFL. That itself is hard to find. He has flashes where he's a plus starter, an above average, a great starter in the NFL. That's hard to find. Is he going to be a demigod, Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, running around Justin Herbert from a physical talent standpoint? No, but that's fine. Like, if the bar was demigod or bust, a lot of quarterbacks would be out of work in the NFL right now. So I'm not shocked that he got the bag. I'm not shocked that they pay him. I'm a little surprised at how long it took. But, I mean, their other options are, assume Dallas doesn't pay Dak and go pay him 60. I'd rather give Tua 53 a year, 53.1 a year, rather than give Dak 60. I don't want to wait around for Kirk Cousins either. And then what? You're getting into Gardner Minshew territory. You gonna ask Case Keenum to come play? Like, there's not a lot of good other options, and they're going to be too good to draft what is a pretty shallow quarterback class next year. And Tua is far better. I don't care about the cost benefit. He's far better than any rookie coming out next year. So no, I think this was the right move. They feel strongly about it. I agree. I know, I don't want to get the homer accusations from the New England crowd, but logically speaking, this was the right move.
You're going to get that no matter what. Exactly. And it was the timing of it, I think, is brilliant, because when Dak gets paid, he will get $60 million a year. It'll be ridiculous, but the cap will go up. When Brock Purdy gets paid, I got my Purdy shirt. I wish I was wearing it, because again, is he a game manager? Yes. But do they execute one of the best systems in the NFL? Brock Purdy and Tua Tagovailoa I'm talking about? Yes. I got to add too, for people to get the bag, if being a hater gets you the bag, Travis would be retiring tomorrow on a beach in the south of Italy. So it doesn't matter to that. Marcel, I do want to ask, now let's talk about Tyreek a little more, though. They give him that more money, but don't add years. That's a unique situation. What's the thinking and the thought process there in Miami behind this, with Tua going into his age 30 season, coming off his best career year, one of the best players in the NFL, but to give him more guaranteed money, but not add on any years?
Yeah, this is how you keep your stars happy, right? Like, Jerry Jones, take note. Cincy Bengals, take note. This is how you keep your stars happy. They didn't have to do this. They didn't have to pay him. He was under contract for 2 more years. Like, there was no reason to, other than the fact that they said, look, you have outperformed an already sizable contract. We already agreed to a 4-year, $120 million extension with you, and you've outplayed that. And not only have you outplayed that, the wide receiver market has outperformed that contract as well, has surpassed that contract as well. So, like, it's really just incredible work from both sides. Rarely do you see like a true win-win, right, in the NFL and sports in general, but like a true win-win. The Dolphins keep their guy happy, and they give him the most guaranteed money, fully guaranteed money in NFL history for a wide receiver. So you can wear that crown as, in a sense, the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history in terms of guaranteed money. But they do it without resetting the market. They do it without going past the Justin Jefferson deal or whatever CD and Jamar Chase are going to do. Like, they didn't add anything onto the deal from that standpoint. And then from Tyreek's perspective, like, now I feel valued by this organization that I have balled out for the past 2 years. Because let me tell you something. As Chris Perkins, he works for the South Florida Sun Sentinel here. It's one of my favorite quotes of his. I say it a lot when I do radio. This offense is about 2 things: Tyreek Hill and the threat of Tyreek Hill. If he is not on the field, the Miami Dolphins are not the same. And that doesn't matter how good Tua is, how good Waddle is. Like, that, it doesn't take anything away from them. Tyreek is just that good that if you take him off the field, the entire offense changes. So good on both sides for getting that thing done. No drama. He insisted, I don't want to be traded. This is about as smooth of a situation, as smooth as a contract demand as you could possibly ask for out of a superstar like that.
Yeah, Marcel, you make a great point about how really good teams and well-run organizations do this ahead of time, and they're sort of proactive with some of these wide receiver contracts. I don't know if you're watching Hard Knocks or not, but the Bears just did this with DJ Moore as well, and he's happy as hell now. So, I agree with you there. Let me stick with Tyreek. he said he could beat Noah Lyles in a race. Now, here's where I'm at with this. If it's a 40-yard dash, I think I'm rolling with the cheetah because Noah Lyles is a slow starter out of the blocks anyway. Cheetah is cheetah. I ask you, who wins? Let's just keep it to a 40-yard dash. Who wins, Cheetah or Noah Lyles?
Oh man, that is brutal. But like, you do have a good point in that, like, Noah Lyles is the fastest man in the world in that 100, but he's known as he's a finisher. Right. He's a finisher. He was getting cooked for like 75% of that race in Paris. But I can't help but to think that, okay, if he knows I don't have 100 meters to do this and I only have 40 yards to do this, then obviously he's not going to start slow. Like, I think it'll change his perspective a little bit. I'm going to go Noah Lyles. I'm going to go with the guy who does it for a living. I'm going to go with the guy who does it for a living. Tyreek be lying, bro. He likes to troll. His Twitter bio, I think, is literally, I like to start stuff and leave.
Right.
I like to start ish and leave. Like, this is his MO. So like, I don't even think he believes he's winning a 100-meter or 200-meter race against Noah Lyles. I think the 40 would be close, but I'm going to go with the professional sprinter. All respect to Tyreek.